Welcome, dear learners, to a fun and meaningful opportunities for guided and independent learning in creative writing. I am Teacher Victoria D. Marie, and together let us discover the beauty of creative writing. The learning competency for this lesson includes the use of imagery, diction, figures of speech, and specific experiences to evoke meaningful responses from readers. Our learning objectives include understanding creative writing and its types and producing short paragraphs or vignettes using imagery, diction, figures of speech, and variation of language. Okay, Lesson 1 is about the introduction to creative writing. In this lesson, you will learn the meaning of creative writing or creative text, its types, and some guidelines in writing creatively. So, what then is creative writing? It is any composition, namely fiction, poetry, or nonfiction that expresses ideas in an imaginative and unusual manner. It is also non-technical, non-academic, and non-journalistic, and are read for pleasure than for information. Sometimes, if you want to escape from reality, if you want to feel like a princess and prince, and if you want to escape from the feeling of being denied by our passion, we read these kinds of writing. Am I right? Yes. What else? It is any kind of writing that involves an imaginative portrayal of ideas, and it is based from personal experiences or popular topics. In this sense, creative writing is a process-oriented term for what has been traditionally called literature, which includes novels, epics, short stories, and poems. Creative text may be descriptive, narrative, expository, or argumentative. Let's have a brief explanation of these types. Let's start with the descriptive text. In descriptive text, a writer gives his or her readers pictures to see, sounds to hear, things to taste, feel, and smell. For example, the waves crashed and danced along the shore, moving up and down in a graceful and gentle rhythm like they were dancing. What is being described in the text? Yes, correct, it's the waves. And what are the words used to describe the waves? Very good. We have crash, dance, graceful, and gentle rhythm. Next, the expository. It is a writing that defines, explains, or describes how something is done or how something happened. Expository has the following part: a topic sentence which allows the reader to understand what you are writing. It has also a middle part which contains supporting sentences that follow one another in a logical sequence of steps. Next is the concluding sentence, which closes the subject with an emphasis on the final product or process desired by the topic. In expository writing, linking words like first, second, then, and finally are usually used to help readers follow the ideas. Okay, next is the narrative. It describes an event chronologically, usually with a beginning, middle, and end. Just like fairy tales, in which the plot typically begin with once upon a time and end with happily ever after. Novels that you read are narratives. Plays also have narrative plots. For example, Romeo and Juliet tells the story of two young lovers whose families' hatred of each other leads to their untimely death. Sometimes poetry can be narrative. For example, Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe tells the story of a man whose young wife died, but he goes and sits in her tomb to be near her. The last one is the argumentative. It is a writing that convinces others of something or persuades them to do something. Argumentative text follows a general rule. We have the introduction, which consists of background information and thesis statement. The next one is the body, which has 3 paragraphs and contains 3 major arguments. The next one is the counter-argument, an argument to refute earlier arguments and give weight to the actual position. And the last one is the conclusion, rephrasing the thesis statement, major points, call to attention, or concluding remarks. Let us take a look at this example on guidelines in writing creatively. There are many ways in which you can write your piece creatively. In this example, you start with introducing your main character, add some events leading up to a complication, add more complications to make your story exciting, which will lead to wondering. Wondering how you could make the idea sound like a book, and then add a new complication. After that, you add series of obstacles that may lead your readers to ask themselves the what ifs. Then begin your resolution and give possible solution to the story. And then, to put some twist to your story, you may add unforeseen obstacles that may get in the way. And the last one is your solution. A solution that is not common. Think of a solution that is unique. This will give a wow effect to your story. As I've said a while back, you can write your piece in various ways. You just have to use your creativity and imagination. And to sum up our lesson, please take note of the following. Creative writing is any composition, it's a fiction, poetry, or nonfiction that expresses ideas in an imaginative and unusual manner. Creative writing usually includes descriptive, expository, narrative, and argumentative text. When we say argumentative text, it convinces others of something or persuades them to do something. While in a descriptive text, a writer gives his or her readers pictures to see, sounds to hear, and things to taste, feel, and smell. For expository writing, it defines, explains, or describes how something is done or how something happens. And the last one, narrative text, describes an event chronologically, usually with a beginning, middle, and end. That's all for now. You may refer to your module for the activities. Thank you and have a great day.